Yo, what's good, bro? Today I'm going to show you how to make those dark but still melodic but still ambient melodies like Metro Boomin does for Don Toliver. Let's dive right in. So that's the loop I'm going to break down today. So I actually started this loop off with going into a loop I've made like 5 years ago and flipping the pattern and adding new effects. So that's pretty much the first pattern. Pretty simple, just using an ambient sound. Going from the root note to the 3 to the 2, down to the root note again, copying that over 4 times, and then taking the whole thing and pitching it down 5 semitones as well. It's a trick Metro uses a lot and it always sounds good. Now the sound is from Cloud Supply, the Hendo preset, and I added an EQ to cut out some of the lows, added a halftime to add some low end to make the high end darker, and I've only made it so the higher frequencies by halftime. Thai neighbors going crazy. Added a halftime only with the higher frequencies half-timed. Added another EQ, added some fruity reverb, some delay as well, and at last some shaper box automation to give it some movement. Next I laid down this low piano from Keyscape, just following the root notes of the other MIDI. And going up and going down, going up to add some variation. For these kind of samples I always love to use the LA Custom Softest because it still gives it that dark ambience, but it's not a hard hitting dark piano. You don't want the Contact Noir piano hitting hard in here, you want something more soft. So the LA Custom Softest is what I go for most of the times. Next up I added this vocal phrase from Splice.
The truth is left in the ruins, buried us in the light. We walk in silence till morning.
Pretty simple, just add an EQ. One thing I always like to do with every vocal sample is cut out the highs, because I don't want them to interfere with the hi-hats or with the artist themselves, and it also makes the vocals stand more in the background, leaving more space for the artist. Second, I added round reverb with 2.2 seconds delay. Next up I added this counter melody, which is a pretty simple one, just alternating between the 4, the 3 and the 2, creating like a dark ambient background layer to make it more interesting. And the preset is from Analog Lab from my brother Marco Lenz's kit. As for effects, I just added reverb again, 3.1 second decay, 50% mix, pretty simple. I added a phrase and an accent from my Anarchy Creative kit, which sound like this. I also added this vocal kind of one-shot kind of accent from Splice as well. Lastly, I wanted to add like a ambient piano, as Metro uses them a lot as well, to the sample to give it that signature sound. So I added this piano pattern. And the preset is Key Upright Memories from one of Kavi's kits. As for effects, just a simple EQ, cutting out some of the lows and some of those mid-highs. Last two things I added was a perk loop and a bass. Perk loops and or bass always give your loop that finishing touch, a finishing feeling. Then I exported the whole thing out, pitch it down 2 semitones, and that's how I made this sample for Don Toliver. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one, bro.